Good evening. My name is Chris Cuthbertson, and my lesson plan is going to cover the basics of agribusiness, and the semester is going to last from spring to summer. Students will learn the basics of gardening, bartering, and currency exchange. The objectives: upon completion of the course, students should be able to demonstrate basic gardening principles, including germination, propagation, harvesting, and planting. Understanding principles of bartering, including using exchanges of goods and services and the corresponding leverage which each holds. Upon that, they're going to need to show their knowledge and value of currency exchange, and basic economic principles and capital will be utilized in this. For teacher input, the instructor will use basic gardening principles to students using classwork and lab assignments. The instructor will also teach students how to effectively barter with goods, the basic foundations behind currency, and how to use both. Lectures, PowerPoints, and hand-on demonstrations will be utilized throughout the semester. Students will be responsible for maintaining their own tomato plant, completions of homework assignments, corresponding tests, and at the end of the semester, all of them will participate in an active farmers market. The guided practice: the instructor will initially develop the garden and present effective gardening techniques to the students who will use in kind, and then encourage student interaction through the gardening process. Students with prior or advanced knowledge on the topic will be encouraged to assist other students who may be in need, whether it be in the classwork or in the garden. For independent practice, each student will be responsible for maintaining the health of his or her own plant, along with the harvesting and the yield results. Students will also be responsible for their final grade during this farmers market. Throughout the course, students are going to be graded based upon 4 categories, and it's ultimately going to compose a final score based on a point system. These 4 categories are going to be the amount of currency remaining, classwork and test scores, the successfulness of their bartering, and final yield of harvested tomatoes. Students are also going to be given the opportunity to interact and trade with each other to effectively determine their own final grade. Say a student is excelling at gardening but not so much at the test and homework assignments. These points can be used as currency to trade with leverage in order to give the student a higher grade. Say the student's excelling in class and his homework but not so much on the gardening aspect. The currency he's accumulated through high test scores, he could trade with another student in effect to get a different yield that's going to give him a higher score. For modification, the instructor needs to be prepared to assist when necessary, as some of these concepts are going to be new to some of the young students. And if a greenhouse is not utilized, you're going to ultimately have to prepare for outdoor weather, and in some instances that can be in a bad or extreme case. If possible, students are also going to be introduced to aspects of hydroponic gardening and the use of mechanical equipment in certain factions of harvesting, so that way we can incorporate a little bit of technology into this. For resources, we're going to need a form of faux currency, some type of plastic coin, something that doesn't hold a real value but is going to be able to use as a point system. Gardening materials are going to include seeds, fertilizer, soil, and tools that are going to be utilized, a greenhouse if available or on site at another facility, an overhead projector for presentation of PowerPoints, textbooks, and a cleaning station to get finished up after the assignment's through. Hopefully, after all this is completed, students are going to walk away with an understanding of the basic principles on how gardening and currency can interact within the market. Thank you.